Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in round number 6 of the 2018 Race Tech Nationals presented by RaceFactoryGaming.com in MX Simulator. We are here. It is round number 6. It is the Southwick National, and it's live here on Start Your Systems TV. My name is Kellen Brower. You will occasionally hear the rumblings and mumblings of our very own Nathan Zaworski as he tries to rip it up out here in Southwick. There he is on the track, rumbling around on the number 608 YZ Super Machine. Oh, so sexy. I haven't seen an SYS bike on the track in like 8 years. Oh, man. So we have Alexis Leclerc coming in as our current points leader. And here's a quick look before this moto gets underway of your 450 point standings. Alexis Leclerc 206 to Adam Holm 201. Russ Chapman, who has now been permanently banned from the series, on 177. Talk about what happened with Chapman in just a second. Of course, you guys may have noticed if you were here last week, the same thing. Chase Blakely on 148 and Race Carlin on 131 currently is your top 5 excuse me, in the 450 class, but obviously Chapman is out. And the reason Chapman is out, it kind of we have to go back and explain the whole story. He would have been out anyway given what he did, but what happened was Jesse Mullins, who is your defending national champion, 3-time defending national champion, was actually caught using a booter to DDoS people in Supercross, and DDoS is a federal offense in the United States, but also a huge no-no in MX Simulator, and Jesse Mullins has been permanently banned across all forms of racing, motocross, supercross, MXS EMF, Race Factory Gaming, just about anything you can imagine in MX Simulator. So Mullins is gone, or so we thought. Then Russ Chapman, who was on his way to a regional qualifier for Loretta Lynn's. This had been 2 weeks ago for the High Point National. Elected to have Jesse Mullins race for him at the High Point National since Chapman was unable to attend and had the points lead, and that is also a huge no-no. Key sharing has never been okay in MX Simulator, so Chapman allowing a suspended / banned rider to race for him was like basically a double offense on top of key sharing, which is already a no-no, and Chapman is now permanently banned for the series. So unfortunate circumstances for us watching on the stream, because it kind of ruined what I thought was going to be a great championship battle between Chapman and Leclerc. But now it looks like we might be set up for a pretty good championship battle nonetheless, as Adam Holm has definitely risen to the occasion in the last couple weeks. Number 27 MV Films machine right here. He's back in action tonight, trying to maybe get the points lead away from Leclerc. He's only 5 points down, and had he had a little bit of a better second moto at Muddy Creek, he actually would have entered this evening as the points leader. So just a couple mistakes in that second moto last week really cost him, but definitely going to try to turn on the afterburners here tonight. Taking a look at 450 qualifying times real fast. We actually do have Leclerc and Holm 1 and 2 in 450 qualifying. Leclerc on a 2:07.1. and Adam Holm on a 2:07.4. Race Carlin, 5th in the standings, 3rd fastest here tonight, 2:08.4. Connor Holiak, former 250 East Supercross champion, on a 2:08.4 as well. And a 2:08.6 for Zach Prokop, who is definitely risen to the occasion the last couple of weeks. Prokop has looked really strong, and see to keep his momentum rolling. We also got Chase Blakely, Reed Young, Daniel Mills, Jeremy Kohnauer, and Dennis Fjellberg rounding out the top 10 in qualifying.
Only 39 people.
And only 39 people in the race, as mentioned. But here we go. It's time for 450 Moto number 1 here at Southwick. We're going to see who's going to put those knobbies to the dirt. And before this moto starts, I just want to give a huge shout out to Scooty Puff Jr. and Ethan Gurse, as they both donated $5 to the stream. Thank you guys so much. I love the donations. It means a ton. And I really appreciate it, guys. But let's go ahead and turn that board sideways, get those revs up, and let's get this moto underway. It is the Southwick National.
Oh, Joey isn't off the track yet.
Oh, man, it's a great start for Leclerc, and even better start up the inside for Carlin, who almost got there. And it's Adam Holm and Leclerc 1 and 2, and it's going to be Leclerc leading him into the second corner. So your championship leaders are 1 and 2. Race Carlin, we talked about him being 5th entering the championship here tonight. He is up in 3rd early on with James Armstrong also right at the front. But it's going to be a mono-e-mono battle for your championship leaders as they head into this back section. Chaos already ensuing behind him. Riders going down. Claire going to try to check out here, though. He's known for his starts and his early sprint pace, but those races seem to kind of come to Adam Holm later in the race as the tracks break down. Almost looks like Carlin wants to have a go at Holm here early. Armstrong definitely looking like he can challenge with them as well. And Leclerc is absolutely sprinting. We also have Neil Wells right up here at the front. Zach Prokop, who we just mentioned was 5th fastest in qualifying. The man, the myth, the legend, Jeremy Smith is also up front. Daniel Mills. Chris Riesenberg has got a great start. He's up inside of the top 10. He was just helping us broadcast those 250 motos. He's got Kyle Robb right behind him, Craig Richards, Chase Blakely, and Keehan Rochford. Oh, as we got Kyle Robb down on the Buckley Berm. Is that what it's called, Nate?
Yep. It's his first name.
Yeah, Paul Buckley, right? Maybe?
I think you're right, yeah.
So we head back up front, still Leclerc leading as they head into the, what is pretty much become known as the whoop section. The track is really broken down in that back section of the track and made some treacherous conditions in the 250 class. We'll see how it breaks down in the 450 class, but it is going to be your points leader, number 7, Alexis Leclerc. Not donning the red plate, however, he should have it on him as he is your points leader, and he is also leading this race. Adam Holm has got nothing for him early on here. We'll see, as mentioned, though, as the track breaks down, maybe his lappers come into play a little bit later if the race comes to him. All right. August Sanders would like to hear an entire moto commentated solely by you, Nate, so go ahead and hand the mic off. Second moto for sure.
All right. He knows how painful it'll be for him, but
I think it'd make a great ASMR. I think it would make a great ASMR. So early on here, Holm, Carlin, Prokop, and Smith kind of breaking away from the rest of the pack as Mills has just gone down. That's going to allow Blakely, Armstrong, Richards, Jeff Cooper, a couple other guys to go on through. Kyle Robb also in that mix. That's Cameron Lee on the 43 around the outside. 154 of Neil Wells gets absolutely destroyed by Kyle Robb in a very egregious pass. That's Peter Like going around the outside. We got Spencer Turley up in here, Reed Young. Look at all of these riders. We got 7 riders all going together through this corner. Ooh, that's Cameron Lee hitting the deck. And everybody that was in that mix are going around him. Eduardo Simo's in the mix. Rob trying to go back after former teammate Peter Like. This is the battle for 11th as Like just crashes all by himself. That allows Simos to crash on top of him. They're having a little bit of a festivities right there. Oh, Schuler gets ran over by excuse me. Who the heck is that laying on the ground with him? That's Neil Wells. And then we got like 7 other guys coming through here. And Leclerc is off to the races out front. No challenge from behind, but I'll tell you, there's a challenge coming pretty quickly here. Zach Prokop has got the general Race Carlin in his crosshairs here. Looking to kick off World War I and II all over again. Man, Prokop has been riding fantastic these last couple weeks. Looking like a new man out here. Kind of pushing Carlin back up to Holm just ever so slightly. You can see on the track map, upper right-hand corner of your screen. Oh, as Holm hits the deck. Getting up from a crash. He tried to go around the outside. Looks like he just tucked the front wheel. What I was about to say, though, is you can see on the track map the size of Leclerc's lead as we go back on board with Carlin here for a minute. Almost 10 seconds, and that green dot is Leclerc, and you can see Carlin trying to keep tabs on him now as we've lost Holm from that battle. Oh, and now Carlin goes down, and Prokop is literally stuck on top of him. Somehow able to get unstuck rather quickly, goes through. Adam Holm slots through. Jeremy Smith also able to get through, and now Chase Blakely's coming up right there as well. James Armstrong, Craig Richards. I can tell you one thing, Nate, you may not be laying it down in the points right now, but you are beating former national champion Matt Burkeen at the moment.
Where is he?
And he is in 39th as Adam Holm has gone down again. And he is losing 3 spots right there as Armstrong slots through ahead of him. Blakely now right behind Carlin. Jeremy Smith right in front of him. And then Prokop all alone in second. It is still all Leclerc out front, though. No challenge for your 2014 National Motocross Champion, who is looking silky smooth here. We'll have to see, though, like mentioned, as this track breaks down, we saw it start to reach up and bite guys in that 250 moto, namely that second 250 moto. Craig Leake led for a large portion of it and really had his struggles late. You can see that Leclerc is even already getting kicked around a little bit. We're 7.5 minutes into this 30-minute plus 2-lap race. Carlin trying to eye up a pass here on Smith. This is your battle for third. Oh, and Carlin, he hits the deck. Blakely able to jump off the inside of the berm there. There goes Adam Holm and James Armstrong around the outside of him. So far, not the moto Adam Holm was looking for. Starting right behind Leclerc in second. And very quickly losing tabs with him, then crashing twice. Chase Blakely looks like he might be the man on the move right now, though. He's trying to go after Jeremy Smith for third. Yeah, you can see this track already starting to get some big holes in it here and there. Go on board with Blakely as he's trying to reel in Smith. You can see, even through here, lots of big holes through the corners. Blakely absolutely ripping the inside of that rut through the Stewart Canyon. And Ryder down. That's Prokop. Prokop in there in second has gone down. Smith, a huge mistake now, moving into second, just able to hold the spot. And Blakely really trying to keep it close here. Great battle for second. We'll see lap times give us a pretty good indication where everybody's at coming this time by. 2:12.6 for Blakely, 2:13.9 for Smith, who just can't seem to crest lower than a 2:13.8 at the moment. Prokop was laying down 2:12.4s, but obviously he went down. He's behind this group now. Holm also in the 2:12s. Carlin laid down a 2:25 that time by. Not a good lap for him. Up front, though, Leclerc running 2:09s and 2:11s last time by, as we've got a huge change for second. Adam Holm just got a 3 for as Smith went down, and as did Prokop, it looks like. So Blakely now goes back into third, but he's ahead of Smith. Holm is now back into second. And Prokop behind Smith. Carlin behind Prokop. Everybody kind of trying to jockey for positions here as Blakely looks like he may have just gone down. Actually saved it, but lost the spot to Smith. Now almost gets landed on by Prokop, and Smith crashing all the way to the bottom of the hill. Blakely able to avoid him. Carlin goes around the outside of both of them. So Smith gets back going. These guys have absolutely gapped themselves as Daniel Mills and James Armstrong here disputing 7th, I believe. Ooh, a little nose high for Mills. Ooh, slides it out. Armstrong goes through. Not enough time to get there for Reed Young just yet, but Mills still just getting going back on the track ahead of him. Then we got Will Whiteley, 201 MV Films ride. We see him mainly in the 250 class, moves up to the 450 class, is making a good ride out of it so far as Richards and Kyle Robb go down. So Cameron Lee slides through, Spencer Turley goes through. I think that was Jeff Cooper also going through. And then more chaos as Reed Young goes down as he was trying to get around the, that's the 21 of Connor Holiak, Brock Pearson, Eduardo Simos, Tyler Morin, and Dylan Copeland are also all right here. Austin Bear behind them, then Peter Like, and there's Chase DeSell running just a myriad of the wrong numbers. I believe he's actually number 38, but he's running the number 17 bike. So he gets repassed by Peter Like, and Peter's going to crash in that exact same spot we saw him crash before. Gets passed by Joseph Pilsner, who's got a great beer name. Oh, Schuler all over the place. Saves it. Alex Carlo goes down right in front of Nathan Zaworski. So Zaworski and Rochefort go through.
I was
Dylan
practicing
Gatlin.
with that guy. Qualified.
Key and Rochefort.
I think so, yeah.
Fernando Andrade and Devin Davis having an abysmal moto back here in 30th, I think. 31st, actually. Jake West. Chris Riesenberg has fallen a little ways outside of the top 10. He is way back down here to 33rd. Matt Perkeen of Jumpin' Jim's Tire and Lube is back here in 35th. Tyler Fry is down. Billy Kunitz is down. Sabrina Ritzler is down. Neil Wells is out of this race. And Daniel Mills in the background is also down. That's pretty much been the whole field. Alexis Leclerc is starting to weave his way through some lap traffic here. Adam Holm is a good 20 or so seconds back of him. So unless we start seeing more mistakes from Leclerc, I highly doubt we're going to see a change in position there. But you never know. Zach Prokop behind Race Carlin, Chase Blakely, Jeremy Smith. Jeremy Smith actually under attack here. James Armstrong down the inside is going to make the pass through Stewart's Canyon. And Smith trying to fight back, but has to elect around the outside here. That inside line is really good if you can get into it, and Armstrong absolutely ripping it apart. It's a battle for 6, though. Number 33 and 4 in your program book, but number 6 and 7 on the track. Probably number 1 and 1.5 in your heart, though.
Which one's one? Which one's 1.5?
Rider down, and Armstrong almost gets into Blakely. Smith is going to get a 2 for, I don't know, 1 and 1.5. Let's see. I'm going to say maybe they're both number 1. I'll put them both at number 1. Battle still continues despite that mistake. Armstrong almost getting into Blakely. Oh, and Smith up and over the bars, tucked the front wheel. So Armstrong goes through. Has a long ways to get to Prokop. Still all Alexis Leclerc as we have reached the halfway point. Moto number 1. As he works his way around a lapped rider there. Not sure who that was. But there is Leclerc, so let's go ahead and do a little race tech run through the field. We saw Leclerc go through with the lead as we are halfway through this thing. This is going to be Chris Riesenberg going down. He is a lap down. And look at how long it takes before Adam Holmes' second place comes through. Leclerc has a huge lead, and here comes Holmes, second in the championship. There he goes through. Here is third place, Race Carlin. It's a lapped rider of 142. I believe that's Billy Kunitz. So now we are still waiting for fourth place to come around. That is not it. That's Tyler Fry a lap down. Man, fourth place is way back here. This is Jeremy Smith in fourth. Fifth place for Armstrong. Sabrina Ritzler a lap down. Oh, big crash. That's Chase DeSalle. Then sixth place Prokop, seventh place Blakely, eighth place Mills, ninth place Turley, and 10th place, I believe that's still Chase DeSalle right there. 11th for Cameron Lee, 12th for Will Whiteley. 13th for Connor Holiak right there on the number 21. 14th for Dylan Copeland right there. 15th for Jeff Cooper, number 95. 16th for somebody that I don't have their skins. 17th for Eduardo Simos. 18th is off the track, so 18th is now going to be James Schuler. 19th for Craig Richards. And actually, that's Chase DeSalle in 20th, so I misspoke. That must have been Reed Young going through earlier. I think this is Peter Leicht trying to remount in 21st, but he's taking a few hours to get up as Zaworski goes by. Peter Leicht is sitting in the track as Alexis Leclerc comes through. So Leclerc, your race leader, is almost lapped his way into the points. And Leclerc now lapping Nathan Zaworski, who is giving us live updates. What's the leader look like, Nate?
Pretty fast. I don't have his skins though, so it's on the stack husky.
How much longer do you think you're going to see him?
Find out. Couple corners.
Yeah, you're keeping him close. It's good live action.
Oh, he's going inside there, huh?
Yeah, it's starting to develop that inside rut. Yeah, Nate, you're putting the pressure on him, man. You're making him think about it.
Trying. Oh, there's a kicker.
So Leclerc's still got about let's see what the gap is officially, 25-second lead on Adam Holm, who just laid down his best lap of the race at a 2:12.7, but still just not able to compare. Leclerc did a 2:13.7, so he got a second back there, but still just not making a lot of inroads on him yet. Race Carlin's still in third, Smith in fourth. Spencer Turley, he is up to fifth, and he has Reed Young right behind him in sixth. Then Zach Prokop is in seventh. Great ride for Turley here. He is absolutely hauling the mail right now. Signed, sealed, and delivered. This guy's looking for his first top 5 of the season. Behind that, I see Cameron Lee and Holiak getting together a little bit as Reed Young almost made a huge mistake and came across the nose of his teammate, Zach Prokop. Looks like Young is maybe going to give Prokop the spot here, or he was trying to, but he actually ended up railing around the outside and held it. So Prokop going after his teammate here. Wow, sending it down the hill, and oh, what a save, Zach Prokop. Big old swap and able to corral it together. It's going to allow Chase Blakely to close right up behind him, though. And Cameron Lee's still right there. As somebody's getting frisky, going all out behind Spencer Turley. I think that's Billy Kunitz on the 142. Chris Riesenberg moves out of the way as Prokop, Reed Young, and Chase Blakely all funnel on through, and then Cameron Lee not too far behind them. Kunitz moves out of the way to allow this battle to funnel on through. Blakely's trying to go back after Reed Young. We saw Blakely in that strong battle up front. It's kind of faded back a little bit, a couple crashes here and there, but he's still right in the mix for this battle inside of the top 5 as Turley now has Prokop closing up right behind him. And then Blakely going after Reed Young. Still see Cameron Lee lurking there in the background, that yellow fender of his Mad Cape Suzuki, as Blakely makes the pass on Reed Young. Now the battle appears to be Prokop versus Turley. This is for 5th. Oh, Prokop, man, oh man, he is getting all out of shape, but absolutely sending it. He's trying to go around the outside here. Not many people able to make that line work, but he actually stayed right behind Turley, and he's going to go around the outside here as well. He is just absolutely sending it. Let's see how far down this hill he sends it. Woo! Big old scrubber tails, and he makes the pass stick on Turley. Zach Prokop is a flying around this Southwick circuit. So Turley settles back into 6th. He's got Blakely right behind him. Cameron Lee has made the move on the now missing James Armstrong and Reed Young. So Reed Young going to work on Will Whiteley. And looks like Blakely just got around Spencer Turley, but then makes a huge mistake, so Turley's going to go back on through. Ooh, Blakely having some issues. Go on board with the number 13 machine here. Putting the pressure on Turley. This is for 6th. And Turley, oh, I thought he was going to get hung up in that corner, but now Blakely's got a good drive alongside of him. Turley slamming the door, though. This is actually turning into a good battle behind them, as well as Holiak. Oh, and Blakely goes down. Holiak and Lee closing in, though. So Turley weathers the storm for the moment, but here comes Holiak. And Holiak, oh man, is he out of shape. What a save. Looks like he was almost going to have the pass made on Turley going down the inside and then got out of shape. Turley hangs on. It's like a YouTube meetup in chat right now. We got Turley out on the track. And we got the man, the myth, the legend, Scooty Puff Jr. in chat. With something rad, Marcus Beasley as Spencer Turley and Connor Holiak get together. And Donuts in chat as well. They're all hanging out. So Turley got a little bit of contact from behind there as Holiak gets into him. They both ended up going down, so that allowed Lee and Armstrong, the teammates, to go through. Little mistake out of Armstrong opens up the gap for Mr. Cameron Lee. Jeremy Smith has been passed by his teammate Zach Prokop. And Alexis Leclerc still has a pretty sizable lead on Adam Holmes. So the battles inside of the top 5 are rather non-existent. This battle for 6, though, continues on between the teammates. Armstrong continues to kind of slide that front end out, having a little bit of problems sticking that front wheel of the Mad Cape Suzuki into the ground.
I don't know how he feels.
Front wheel probs.
No problems.
Spencer Turley has now settled back into 8th. Reed Young is 9th, and Daniel Mills currently rounds out the top 10. Will Whiteley has chased Blakely on him for 11th. This is a good battle. A couple guys that look like teammates. Oh, rider down, that was Reed Young. And Blakely's trying to get him and Whiteley at the same time. Goes into 10th, I believe. So Young back to 12th. Holiak, I thought he just got passed, but he's still 13th. And oh my. Oh my, Connor Holiak. A couple big swaps down the hill and then absolutely 12 o'clocks it off the jump. Chase the cell. Using all the berm and then some there. Dylan Copeland, Brock Pearson. Jeff Cooper, Craig Richards, Eduardo Simos, Fernando Andrade in a battle of the best Brazilian on track. Alex Carlo, Kian Rochford, James Schuler, and Nathan Zaworski in 23rd. Nate, you are about 10 seconds behind points, just so you know.
Ooh. Thank you. Remember the last time I got points in an outdoor race?
And you get that 68 back. Oh man, Holiak and Reed Young going for it. Oh my goodness, Connor Holiak is just all out of shape. Flies into the stands but saves it, and now they're right behind Spencer Turley, and it is, whoa, all over the place. Turley blocks Reed Young, and Holiak's going to get both of them. Now Reed Young looking inside of Turley, gets around him, and Turley gets hung up in the rut. So DeSalle goes through around the outside. Now Will Whiteley is trying to get into the mix. Oh, teammates down. That's Reed Young, Chase DeSalle laying on top of each other. They look almost identical, although I do not have Chase DeSalle's helmet, and he's also running the wrong number. He's running Jared Seidhoff's 450, and then his own gear is Will Whiteley is down, so the teammates will split. Brock Pearson is also down, so I think DeSalle is going to get through, and Reed Young will just not quite get by Pearson. Turley's going around the outside right there of Connor Holiak, who is down on the inside. Up ahead, Chase Blakely's kind of riding by himself. Daniel Mills is getting lapped by Alexis Leclerc, as is Cameron Lee. Alexis Leclerc is lapping 7th place. We still have 2.5 minutes to go. Oh, Leclerc's down, though. He is down and off the bike, but he still has a massive lead on Adam Holm, and he gets going right up there, right in front of Spencer Turley now. Connor Holiak trying to go out and get Spencer Turley. Chase Blakely is now right behind Daniel Mills in a battle of some former teammates as well.
I thought this first section after the start was going to get a lot more chewed up than what it is.
Great battle here, Blakely and Mills. Blakely trying to get the power down to the ground. Mills just launching it. Different lines and through this deep section in the back. These guys are getting all huck-a-bucked around. Ah, Mills blows the inside rut. That allows Blakely to go on through. And they're not too far behind Lee here on the 43. So they're going to try to maybe work together to push up here. Actually, they're catching Smith as well, who has been repassed by James Armstrong. Just want to give you an idea of the gap again Leclerc has as we're 29 minutes into this moto. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this gap again. There is your race leader Leclerc. I wish I could put a timer up on the screen. He's lapped Holiak, he's lapped Turley, he's lapped DeSalle. It's been a good while since Leclerc has gone through. Actually, you know, let me actually count the time that's going to go through. It's going to be a little less now because he just went down. So there's Leclerc. My timer says 34:29. There is DeSalle. Whiteley, Austin Bear, Reed Young. Not sure who that was. There is Dylan Copeland. And there is second place Adam Holm. 35:07, I'll say, was what the time was. So he's got a 38-second lead on Adam Holm right now. And that's just to give you an idea of the time track-wise. The distance between them is massive. Leclerc's already through the Stewart Canyon. Holm hasn't even hit Buckley Berm yet. So Leclerc is about to get the 2-lap board, and he is cruising out front. No challenge from behind. Still riding smooth as could be around the racetrack. Whoa, James Armstrong coming into your living room. He is in the midst of a semi-battle with Jeremy Smith. Actually, Cameron Lee is all over Jeremy Smith. This is a good battle brewing here. That's a rider down right there. That's a lapped rider, actually. You can see Jeremy Smith right up here, right in front of Cameron Lee. We also have riders going down in the background. There's Mills. Holiak just got passed by Turley. That puts Turley in 8th, I believe. Let's wait and see the ticker across the top of the screen. Nope, 9th. Daniel Mills and then Turley. So Holiak is 10th, Blakely 11th, DeSalle 12th, and they're all right here together. Including a lapped rider right in front of them, 76, that's Tyler Fry trying to get out of the way. Gets all the way off the track, very nicely done. Ah, Holiak mistake, Turley goes back on through. They're just avoiding Sabrina Ritzler, who was down. Nate, you got 4 seconds between you and Fernando Andrade. That's points.
Is it Davis right behind me?
Is Davis right behind you? No, nobody's right behind you. Oh no, that's Schuler, about 2 or 3 seconds behind you. It's the same guy as last time.
Markham.
Holm getting a little out of shape. So looks like Lee's lost touch with Smith, and actually Daniel Mills is kind of closed up on Cam a little bit. And, oh, actually, I'm sorry, that's Armstrong, not Cameron. So Cameron Lee has lost a few positions after a crash. He's lapping Chris Riesenberg right there. Spencer Turley still has Holiak breathing down his neck here. We saw Holiak just get all out of shape through here earlier when battling with Turley. Oh, and he's going to go pirouetting. Does not crash, though, as Alexis Leclerc is trying to weave his way through. What he doesn't realize, Leclerc, is that these guys are all battling for positions inside of the top 10, so now he's kind of in a tough spot as he laps Turley, who is just down right there, and now Holiak also goes down. Ooh, Daniel Mills off the track. Here comes Chase Blakely. White flag is out, and Spencer Turley is right behind Chase Blakely. Not Spencer Turley, I'm sorry. Alexis Leclerc is right behind Chase Blakely. Is Blakely going to allow him through? Looks like he's trying to. Oh, and then Blakely goes down. So Blakely off the bike. That might allow Spencer Turley through. He's going to get there just as Blakely gets going. There's a rider down, and Turley will make it through, and DeSalle goes down in the background. Will Whiteley, Connor Holiak is down. Man, there's riders down everywhere. Gonna have no battles on this last lap. Ooh, what we do have is a change for second place. Race Carlin has made the pass on his teammate and championship contender Adam Holm, but Carlin goes down. So Holm goes back through. Holm trying to minimize the damage here done by Leclerc. Points gap entering was only a 5-point disadvantage for Holm. After this first moto, it'll stretch out to 8, but still keeping things fairly close. So Holm doing a nice little job here of some damage control after a late crash there. Looks like Carlin was able to get by, but now Holm gets back in front of him. Nobody has been able to touch Leclerc this whole moto, though. He got the start and absolutely took off at the beginning. Has kind of been cruising the second half of the race because he opened up a very sizable, nearly 40-second lead at one point. Now he's just trying to bring it home, it seems. And bring it home he will. He's got 2 corners left to go. Looking to extend his championship lead. And he's going to do so with a brilliant wire-to-wire victory. Number 7 of Alexis Leclerc wins 450 Moto number 1 here at Southwick. A terrific ride. Adam Holm looks like he's got second all wrapped up. Carlin's going to round out the podium. Prokop here in 5th. Smith in 6th. Lee 7th. And Mills was lapped. Mills was lapped in 7th, so Lee is actually in 6th. Smith is in 5th. Prokop is in 4th. Is doing my math all wrong there. So Turley comes across in 8th. Blakely 9th. Armstrong 10th. Whiteley 11th. DeSalle 12th. Young 13th. Copeland 14th. Pearson might still get Copeland, but otherwise he will stay 15th. And Richards is looking to pick up a 16th here. Ooh, Jeff Cooper's down in 17th, but he is not going to do anything about that. 18th for Schuler, 19th for Peter Leicht, and Zaworski picking up a point. He's got to hold off the number 2-2 of Dudu Mutombino. Oh, Dudu's riding backwards on the track. Typical Brazilians.
Is he in 21st?
Yes, he is. So Carlin locks down that 3rd spot. Prokop is in 4th. Lee has moved up to 5th and might just lap Mr. Eduardo Simos. Jeremy Smith. Got to go in my proud dad moment here. Look at this. First point of the Nationals for Start Your Systems.
Ooh.
The man, the myth, the legend, Nathan
Points is only one.
Zaworski. Picking up that 1 point in 20th. I'm sorry, I had to be a little biased there for a second.
Ooh.
Smith went down, so that turns that battle into a moot point. And Prokop gets 4th. Cameron Lee looks like he has got 5th wrapped up, barring a crash. Cameron Lee just straight air Leclercing it into the final corner and will hang on to 5th spot. Nice ride, Cameron Lee. Jeremy Smith is down in 6th, otherwise he is the last guy not to finish the race just yet. Here we go, final corner, and race is now not complete yet. Still waiting on somebody else. Kian Rochefort has got to finish up here in 23rd. And now the race is complete. Cuts don't change anything. Top 20 stays the exact same. Leclerc, Holm, Carlin, Prokop, Lee, Smith, Mills, Turley, Blakely, Armstrong, Whiteley, DeSalle, Young, Copeland, Pearson, Richards, Cooper, Schuler, Leicht, and Zaworski are your points finishers.
Ooh.
And 450 Moto number 1. Nate, you scored points.
I know. I can't believe it.
Or you scored point.
What point?
Yeah, God, give me 5 paps.
Is that my trophy? That should be my
Yeah,
trophy.
there you go. I think that's your trophy right there. All right, we got a little bit of a 5-minute break here between motos, so I like to always open it up to a little bit of an AMA here. Ask me anything, and I will answer it. YouTube and Twitch chat popping off still a little bit, so why not have a little bit of fun with it? So yeah, 5-minute break before moto number 2.
Someone's on a 252 stroke.
Oh man,
I hear it.
I hear it too. It's right behind you, Dylan Gatlin, the 134.
I'm gonna have to look back afterwards and see when the last time I actually got top 20 in Moto.
Hey, you scored some points in Supercross, but up until that Moto, you've been kind of garbage outdoors, Nate.
Mm-hmm. I'm able to qualify.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you guys in chat here, man. You guys are going on and on and on.
Some live talk in there. Reflex.
Oh man, Jeff Cooper just swapped his brains off behind you. So yeah, after Moto number 1, this man right here, Adam Holm,
Points there?
is
Can't hear that.
8 points behind Leclerc, points leader. So he's just off here in the corner taking a little bit of a sit, contemplating what he can do. Maybe looking at this corner here, maybe he'll size up a good hardy block pass on Leclerc here in the first lap of the race. Whatever he's doing, I'm sure it's very important. As he rides away. Nate, you're gonna win the warm-up lap.
I'm so pumped.
Where's Sween with the drop? He's gonna just say,
So
"Wise Ed takes the victory."
Oh, I'll get it. I think some people racing now probably don't know who Sween is.
Nate, I like that your name is Nate, but for the purposes of your forum name and your love of Yamahas, I wish your first name was Edward, so I could get away with calling you Wise Ed.
Wait, what? Edward?
Yeah, just shorten it to Ed, and then you're a smart dude, so just call you Wise Ed.
Why is Ed?
Yeah, like W-I-S-E, Ed. Wise Ed.
Oh, I see. I gotcha.
Come on, Nate, you figuring it out yet?
Yeah, not too wise.
Waffle Stomper wants to know why not alternate 250 450 motos. That is because the 450 racers.
Why Dad takes the victory.
Yeah, there you go. The 450 racers don't want to be sitting here during that whole second 250 moto. Or really, they don't. We used to alternate the motos. When did we stop alternating, Nate? Like 2014? Because we used to do
I think so.
250 Moto 1, 450 Moto 1, 250 Moto 2, 450 Moto 2. Which personally I kind of liked because, I don't know about you, Nate, but I used to get thumb pump. I'd get my thumbs all locked up, lockjawed after the first motos and stuff like that. So I like the longer breaks. However, they do that because they don't actually grab 450 UIDs during the 250 UID grab. They grab them separately, which is, I think, scheduled every time for 7:20 p.m. Pacific. And so that allows 450 riders who maybe can't, sit around and grab UIDs an hour and a half early to be able to go do stuff, maybe spend time with real people in the real world. And then they can come in here and do their races and then leave. It just basically condenses it for guys that are there to race. If you're there to race a class, you don't like sitting through 35 minutes of another moto, you'd rather just get your both of your motos done. So that's why they do it.
Is Chuck still racing? What's he doing?
I think Chex is still out here. See if I can't find him. Yeah, he rolled off the gate, so he's out there.
Alright. First I gotta pee. Let's see what my gate number 1 looks like this time.
Alright, time for moto number 2, the 450 class.
Josh Martin, your AMA isn't very good.
Yeah, I know. That one was a poor one. Normally I get like 7-8 people asking questions, but that's okay. Parade lap 450 moto number 2 out here now. And I forgot to pick a versus PC one to watch in the first moto, so let's go ahead, versuspc.com. Get your
My
computer
gate
in
1
gear.
is actually gate 2.
Versus PC 1 to watch. Let's take a look at... How about Sabrina Ritzler? Let's have the only female competitor out here tonight be our versus PC 1 to watch in Moto number 2. Not only the only female competitor out here tonight, but the only female competitor to ever win a professional MX Simulator race. 2012 Indianapolis Supercross, Race Factory Gaming 450 main event.
Wow, you even know the round.
12. Round 12, I believe.
I can't remember what year it was.
I
thinking
think, to go even a step further, Nate, I think it was Ritzler, Austin Jones, and Tyson Fresquez on the podium.
Whew. Isn't it funny that Austin was the second? It's funny. Mix some romance.
They used to have an MXM love affair.
But not anymore. How sweet. Home.
Many picked
Sweetest got a
her to
second
win a race, but she can't, 'cause she's in 7th.
I thought that was Tyson.
I know. I'm just making, just continuing the Ritzler train. All right, ladies and gentlefish, it's time for Moto number 2 from Southwick. Gotta imagine Leclerc is gonna be the guy to watch off the gate here again. He always gets the whole shot, so we'll watch him one more time.
Alright.
Here we go, boarded sideways, JLV doing his moonwalk off the track. It is 450 Moto number 2 from Southwick. Not a good start for Leclerc. He wheelied, and he's trying to get to the corner first, but he is not going to get there. Instead, Armstrong gets the whole shot, and because Holm got pushed wide, it's actually almost going to benefit Leclerc. Armstrong whole shot, Leclerc second, Holm third. And that is where they are, right off at the sharp end of the field. Leclerc already looking for a move on Armstrong to go to the lead. Holm trying to get into Leclerc, and he goes down in the same spot he was looking to size up Leclerc earlier. Goes down and just hands over huge chunks of points, I'd got to imagine. Leclerc going to go after Armstrong for the lead.
Oh, guy.
And here goes Leclerc. A mistake from Armstrong, and just like that, Leclerc into the lead. Armstrong coughs up second over to Chase Blakely. Kyle Robbs now coming through in 4th. Holiak 5th. Copeland 6th. 7th for Prokop. 8th for Whiteley. 9th Cooper. Zaworski in 10th. Oh man, Zaworski got about 78 guys around you. Reed Young right behind. Adam Holm is right here, right behind Devin Davis. Race Carlin. Oh man, Zaworski down, and Adam Holm goes right on through.
No problems.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna get in the back of Holm right there as Holm gets around Zaworski. Carlin right in front as well. Devin Davis. It's a mad dash into the Buckley berm. Someone is absolutely wringing a two-strokes neck back there as well. So Leclerc leads. Blakely, Armstrong, top 3. Holiak, Robb, Prokop, Copeland, Whiteley, Cooper, Davis, Carlin, and then Holm. So Holm trying to make amends from crashing early on. He's going to get around Carlin, who went off the track. Carlin jumping sideways back on in front. Mad dash through the back here. Adam Holm swings wide. He's going to get Devin Davis. He might also get Will Whiteley into the next corner. Tries to show him a nose, just not quite able to get there though. Boy, oh boy, is there people all over the place. Meanwhile, Leclerc, it sounds like dead silence up front. Blakely and then Armstrong losing touch real quick with Leclerc here. Holiak and Robb, Prokop, and then just a triage of people. Copeland and Cooper get together. Cooper's down in the middle of the track. The MV Films guy is able to split him as Jeremy Smith goes down in the background as well. Several riders going through. Richards, and that looks like Simo's going through last there. Maybe 7, 8 guys all went through right there. So now Copeland has Adam Holm putting the pressure on him.
Might have cross-jumped someone.
And Holm's going to make the pass on Copeland. He's bringing his teammate, Ray's Carlin, right along with him. So Copeland gets passed up by the MV Films teammates, and another MV Film teammate, Will Whiteley, coming in right behind him. Carlin actually might have a line here on Holm. He's trying to pull alongside at least. These guys are second and third in Moto number 1 now, trying to work through the field together. And Devin Davis, Nathan Zawarski, Fernando Andrade, Brock Pearson, Craig Richards, all following in line right here. Eduardo Simos, Jeff Cooper, Peter Like, and then Jeremy Smith, who we just saw crash. Oh, Triley's! Oh my goodness, where is the vodka? That was sick. Jeremy Smith, Peter Like, and Jeff Cooper absolutely throwing some dirt. Oh, and Smith smashes his face into the Buckley sand as Race Carlin was down in the middle of the track. Several riders split around him. We also had a rider down on the inside. That's Brock Pearson. Devin Davis gets Fernando Andrade hung up a little bit behind him. Craig Richards making the pass on Nathan Zawarski. Oh, rider down. That is Holiak. Getting up sideways in the track, almost collects Andrade, and Richards coming through. Riders splitting lines. Now Holiak looking inside, trying to get back around Andrade. They're going to come together almost on the finish line. Oh, Holiak down the inside there, makes a nice move. Andrade had nothing for him. Although he's trying to fight back into the inside in the next corner. He might get him. Oh, shows him a wheel, but man, Holiak is using all the track and then some. So Holiak's trying to run up here onto Devin Davis. Then Dylan Copeland would be in front of that. We got Holiak trying to use that inside line right there. Now goes back inside again. Oh, slides it down. Able to crowd together, but now has Richards closing in from behind. Oh, and then Holiak hits the deck. So all that work for naught, as Copeland has Devin Davis closing in behind. Adam Holm has lost a few spots as Prokop, Kyle Robb, Armstrong. Or no, I'm sorry, he's ahead of all those guys. And now he's going to get a spot on Prokop. I thought Race Carlin was ahead of Holm, so I made a mistake there.
That was a bail.
Nathan Zawarski chiming in. He's in the midst of a huge battle with Jeff Cooper, Brock Pearson, Jeremy Smith. Brock Pearson right behind Zawarski. Right in front of him is Holiak and Will Whiteley. And Zawarski's going down. Took Jeff Cooper with you.
Jay Cooper, huh?
Jay Coop. So Leclerc continues to lead just about 7 minutes into this thing. And it's pretty much a repeat of Moto number 1, except he did not get the whole shot this time. Instead, that went to James Armstrong, and then Holm trying to pass Leclerc for second in that corner he just went through on the first lap. Got into the back of him, went down, and since then, Holm has been trying to work his way back forward for the man who sits second in the championship standings. Leclerc took the lead pretty early on from Armstrong, has not looked back. Blakely moved into second. Armstrong slid back to third. Kyle Robb has now moved up to fourth, and then Adam Holm is into the top 5. So let's take a look real quick at the lap times. We have a 2:12.8 last time by for Adam Holm, 2:13.4 for Robb ahead of him, a 2:12 flat for Armstrong, 2:12.1 for Blakely, and a 2:08.4 for Leclerc. So I kind of want to sit on board with Leclerc, see what he's doing, because that is absolutely insane. Something about these Euros and sand, I tell you.
Oh.
Leclerc absolutely floating around this track. The way he rides that higher gear, that lug in the bike a little bit, it's almost like he's treating the traction as if it's regular dirt traction. The way he's hitting everything, he is hauling around the track. It really looks like he's riding on a different traction than everybody else. And it's incredible just sitting on board here with Leclerc, just watching him work through the lines here. So 208.4 followed it up with a 208.8, and that has pretty much been a whole lap on board with Leclerc, who is absolutely destroying this Southwick track right now. Looks like we have lost Armstrong. He has gone back to 5th, so Holm moves up to 4th. He's trying to get up to Kyle Robb, who sits in 3rd right now. Behind Armstrong comes Prokop, then Copeland, Brock Pearson, Craig Richards, and Will Whiteley, all pretty close together. Not quite close enough for a battle, but definitely something brewing here. Pearson actually just made a small bobble, so Richards trying to close in, but then he makes the same mistake.
Is that Checkers?
Hi.
Well, Checker is joining in on the booth. Is he still in the Moto?
I just pulled over so I could commentate and have some fun.
All right, Chris pulling over. Well, we still got the man, the myth, the legend, Nathan Zaworski out here trying to score points in back-to-back motos for the first time since probably 2011.
At least
It's been that long
2012.
since I've raced, bro.
Meanwhile, we have an absolutely boring battle for the lead right now. There is nothing going on as Leclerc has just gapped the field. Closest battle right now might be Armstrong Holm for 5th. Or else we go way back. Devin Davis just made a pass on Smith, who was down. And then there's like a 78 guys going through the Buckley corner, as there's Jeff Cooper, Spencer Turley, Fernando Andrade, Jeremy Smith, Race Carlin, Chase DeSelle, and Daniel Mills all on the same stretch of track. They're right behind Devin Davis.
Mill's having a solid recovery. I know he was tangled up with myself at the far back of the pack in the end of the first lap. So nice ride going for the Fidian.
Yeah, Mills had a great ride in the first moto too. I believe he finished up in 9th. So definitely having a good day so far at Southwick, trying to continue that trend, and he's in the midst of a terrific battle here. DeSelle right behind him. Carlin, who was going forward with Holm, since has had a few crashes, and now he ends up back here as DeSelle has a huge swap but saves it. Didn't really even lose much time. And they're definitely pushing up to the back wheel of Devin Davis right now. That is for sure, as Davis makes a mistake, and actually Mills is going to try to go for the pass. He just might get it done, although Davis is fighting back alongside. And he will, and Prokop, DeSelle actually sends it 4 deep into the rollers. Might get both of them. He's trying to go all the way around the outside into the next corner. Oh, into the back of Mills, and he goes down a little bit.
That was
overzealous.
overcommitting to a pass that wasn't going to happen. You could tell it wasn't going to happen partway down the hill. Luckily, Mills doesn't get taken out by him.
That was a crazy attempt for DeSelle, and somehow still ends up in the midst of this battle despite a fall-off crash. He's ahead of Cooper, Right behind
We're side
Andrade
by-
and Turley.
We're side by side for 7th and 8th right now. Brock Pearson just put the move on Copeland.
It was a good ride for Copeland, too, who was just outside of the top 10 in our first moto. Now sits inside of the top 10. Ooh, actually, up front, it is really close. Suddenly, Chase Blakely only a second and a half behind Leclerc. Not sure what happened.
2:27 lap time for Leclerc. Definitely had issues. Blakely not having any issues. He is rolling 2:11.9 last time by for him, and a big mistake for Leclerc.
He's down.
Off the bike and down.
What is happening? Things coming unglued rather quickly for Leclerc here as he goes down again. Chase Blakely to the race lead. Adam Holm is up to 3rd and suddenly not too far behind Leclerc.
Pretty nuts, especially I don't know what happened to close the gap up, but Leclerc made that mistake all on his own. And Chase Blakely now has a little bit of a lead. He can run the lines he wants. And he's showing some wicked speed.
So I wonder what kind of Leclerc we see here now. Having lost the lead, does he kind of go into a bit of a freak out mode, trying to get the lead back, or does he settle down, realize that this race still has the potential to come to him with more than half of the race still to go? Definitely looks like he's kind of throwing caution to the wind right now. He's really pushing the envelope.
Absolutely. The track just now going to start going slower here as it starts to get very rough, and then you obviously you start shifting out of the main line. The road is turned down just a touch before this moto.
Lower than Moto 1?
Yeah, it's down to 0.6. We were on 0.7 for Moto 1, so small change. It should make the last 5 minutes a little better.
Okay.
That's the hope. Never know what you're going to get.
What we are going to get is a pretty interesting race here for Moto 2 at
Battle
Southwick.
for 3rd.
Yeah.
Kyle Robb all over home.
Kyle Robb running the wrong bike, but still riding really strong. Man, he flew through that section, closed right up on Holm, but had to check up in this corner, so Holm holds on to the spot.
Another small mistake from Robb, and a lapper going fast behind him, probably frustrating as well.
Austin Bear right behind him on the 558.
It's just a distraction, and kind of makes you nervous, just wondering if they're going to run into the back of you somewhere by oversending it, trying to run your pace when you're a lap ahead.
Well,
You're
and
most likely going faster.
I'm not too sure of the dynamics with that team, but if Rob does not even have a spotter, he might think that's for position, so he could maybe ride over his head a little bit, thinking it's someone who could get in there and ruffle his feathers a little bit. But you're absolutely right. Position or not, if a lapper's right behind him and giving him that kind of pressure, he's definitely thinking about where's that guy going to go.
Yeah, it's just another distraction that you don't want to deal with. Or yeah, you think, oh, is that, or if they're going to pump me. Holm is down and off the bike. Kyle Robb up into a podium spot.
Man, Holm probably kicking himself there. He realized now Leclerc back into the lead because Chase Blakely must have gone down. But I was about to say Holm probably thought he had a pretty golden opportunity there to get maybe some points on Leclerc with him being one position right in front of him and not for the race lead.
Holm's all the way back to 6th now. So things all kinds of shaking up. James Armstrong runs 4th with a lot of pressure from Prokop, and Holm right not far behind them. Prokop might be one of the most improved riders on this outdoor season. We're just past the halfway point here in Southwick Moto 2 of the 450s. Track starting to get pretty gnarly.
No, we can do in 15 minutes, right?
We can do a top 10 rundown brought to you by the fine folks at mxsemf.com. That's right, you want to get involved with this racing action? Log on to mxsemf.com. Sign up. Alexis Leclerc, number 7, leads the way as fastest lap of the race last time around, 2:08.4. So maybe the track's not slowing down, at least not for the number 7. Blakely 219 last time around. So Blakely obviously made a mistake, but not that big of a mistake. I mean, 219 is not a terrible lap, but Leclerc just turned it up. So Blakely runs in second, Kyle Robb in third. Running in fourth is Prokop, Prestige Worldwide rider on the 92. Adam Holm under some heavy pressure from James Armstrong as they run in the 5 and 6 spots. Back in 7th, putting in an exceptional performance, Daniel Mills, Tiger Designs number 51, coming through the pack and not done yet. He's got some serious pressure from his teammate on the 74, Craig Richards, running in 8th. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. And another Prestige rider, Jeremy Smith, runs up in the 9 ride on the number 4. And he is down and off the bike, so here goes Dylan Copeland and Race Carlin on by. And that's going to drop Jeremy Smith out of the race as he disconnects, as he loses the top 10 spot. So that allows Brock Pearson, Spencer Turley, and the rest to move up a position.
Poor old Jeremy Smith.
Dang, real dirt bikes getting in the way of sim career for sure.
Well, Jeremy Smith would, I mean, I could be wrong, Chris, but he would have a 450 championship if he was not a real life racer, right?
I mean, I don't want to take any championships away from anyone that's earned them. So I can't say yes, but he definitely would have had a lot better shot at one for sure.
He's
definitely good enough to get it done.
Well, I was going to say, he's the most successful 250 racer of all time, but he has no 450 titles. It's just crazy in this game.
Yeah, and at the same point, though, you can definitely tell the weight of the real racing on Jeremy as he's taken a step back this year. And, you know, he's focusing on the real racing part and just, you know, obviously sim is not as much of a priority even now, so you can tell how much taking a little bit away has slowed him down. He hasn't had nearly as good of a season.
Right.
So I think the effects of that are pretty monumental. I'm trying to find a battle here. It looks like we find one back in the 4 or 5 spot. Adam Holm trying to climb back through the field yet again in salvage mode, but he's got a very speedy Zach Prokop in front of him.
Yeah, Prokop has been kind of a revelation these last couple of weeks. He has been really good.
Yeah, he's also been faster in the week as well. I've spent a decent bit of time riding with him and seeing him riding, and hey, he's impressive. I mean, honestly, that whole team is doing quite well. Unfortunately, Jeremy Smith quit out, but all of those guys up in the mix. We've had quite a shakeup in the top 10 since our rundown. Leclerc continues to lead. That hasn't changed. Blakely's still in second and Rob third. But we got this Prokop home battle, and behind them we have Armstrong, Carlin, Copeland, Mills, and Turley now. What's up, my dudes? Checking into the top. No, make that Craig Richards back going right in front of him, so sorry. What's up, my dudes?
Oh!
What's up, Southwick base plant? Turley. Woo!
That was a big one.
Fernando Andrade slides up into the number 11 ride.
I think Andrade's got some sort of Brazilian flag on his back too, yeah, and his numbers supporting the Brazilian World Cup team, probably.
Pretty spread out again.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's not a whole lot of battles
made his way
going
around
on.
his way around Prokop now.
Maybe this Whiteley-Turley battle back here is a pretty good one. Pearson right behind them.
And definitely give some love to Mr. Will Whiteley, as Turley going to just jump right onto his back and right onto his face.
Yeah, a little bit of a kind of misjudgment there, I think, maybe on both riders' part. Definitely Turley jumping onto his back, but I think Whiteley checked up right at the top.
Wow, Pearson just rails the outside right around his teammate. Bringing Cameron Lee along. That's right inside the top 15.
Jeff Cooper, Devin Davis, and Spencer Turley all mixed together now with Reed Young right behind them. It is all mixed up back here.
We got a new rider into the number 2 spot now. Kyle Robbs moved past Blakely. Blakely 221 had some mistakes. And Holmes still has Pro Cop all over him. That might be the race to watch right now.
Man, Kyle Robb just is flying right now. He doesn't have the lap times to show for it, but he just absolutely destroyed a burn back there. Be curious to see if maybe he can close this thing down on Leclerc with a couple of mistakes still to happen.
I mean, Kyle Robb, one of those guys that we've always talked about that every now and again, he decides to put in a little bit of effort and he can go as fast as anyone in this game.
No question about it.
Dedication and consistency has never really been there, but he will always go down in history as one of the faster guys.
Adam Holm has Zach Prokop right behind him still. As that battle continues on. Prokop's trying to use that outside to his advantage and maybe get the drive up and over this hill. He's definitely keeping things pretty close here with Holm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I would have expected Holm to kind of wheelie away from him once he got by, as good as he's been all year, but Prokop hanging tough. A few people I've talked to said it's some new internet this year for Prokop that's kind of rejuvenated him to put in the more time and effort.
I got you.
And he's being rewarded for it with some great rides. He's sliding up alongside Holm here. He's got a run on him and a better line off this uphill, but slides it sideways and goes down.
Big old
There's
crash.
a pork chop laying on the racetrack. Anyone's hungry, climb the fence and grab it.
Oh, and now Holm gets out of shape. Good save, though.
Oh, battle is on for second. Kyle Robb has gotten passed back now by Blakely, but he's all over him. And I mean all over him.
Yeah, holy cow. He's right behind him coming through this section onto the start straight. See if he tries to cut underneath. Oh, loses the front end.
Catches a wild locomotive with him.
Here comes Holm. Holm's going to get the pass done on Robb, who's still not up. So Holm, damage control at this point because he's not going to get Leclerc for the Moto win, but
oh, the train just left the tracks there. I don't know if you saw that.
What happened?
Peter Leicht was in front of Holm and just absolutely yard sailed off the track. Hopefully there was no passenger casualties in that one.
So Holm trying to go 2-2 here today to minimize that damage, as I mentioned. Still has a ways to go to get to Blakely and still has Robb all over him, but definitely doing a semi-decent job after that for early crash here. And now Robb's going down again. So no pressure from behind for Holm. He can try to set sail after Blakely, who's actually right behind Leclerc. Leclerc must have had another mistake. So Leclerc definitely not getting away as smooth in this moto as he was in the first one. There he's lapping James Schuler. Blakely is still right here in sight, though. So Leclerc trying to turn the afterburners on once again and get away in a hurry. Now suddenly that kind of throws Holm into an interesting spot here, because if he can keep things close and maybe another Leclerc crash, he might even be able to get ahead of Leclerc. Leclerc definitely not looking as comfortable as he was that first moto, though. Not sure if it's just the pressure from behind, or maybe he did a little bike setup change in the middle of the motos. I'm not too sure, but he's he's definitely having some more struggles, it seems. Definitely has the speed.
The ground, so I think that Prokop's going to move on by him, and no, he falls in the exact same spot.
James Armstrong nowhere near close enough to get around him. Race Carlin's all by himself. Daniel Mills, Dylan Copeland, Craig Richards, Cameron Lee, Will Whiteley. Everybody's pretty spread out here. Devin Davis is pretty close to Chase Cassell, Reed Young, and Brock Pearson. They're all mixed together.
Well, yeah, there's a battle to watch.
Whoa, Pearson. I don't know how he corralled that thing together. It's still all over the place right in front of Andrade.
Action is fierce back there. That was probably my biggest shocker after not racing in a while. I forgot just how intense the racing is. You check up for 1 second and 3 guys try to go blowing by you.
Yeah.
You cannot lift.
Ooh, Pearson tries to get up and just goes up over the bars.
Stuck the front wheel jumping up and caught the outside of that berm and just game over.
That kind of settles that debate for a little bit. Reed Young is still right behind Devin Davis.
This battle for the lead is still not over. Blakely 2.6 behind, giving chase.
Another lapper coming in the way here of Leclerc, trying to get out of the way. Not sure who that is. Leclerc a little out of shape up top though. Lapper just yard sales.
It's still tumbling.
He's still going. He's going to end up in Blakely's line nearly. As Blakely's still, like you said, keeping this thing close.
Do not count out Adam Holm back in third. He's only 11 seconds out of second. And obviously we see Blakely in the mix for the lead. If these two start battling or start making mistakes together, what a comeback ride that would be for Holm.
Blakely looks like he really wants to win this moto, though. He has had a pretty up and down start to the year. For a guy that won 2 nationals last year, has yet to put it together this year, but he's pushing the envelope here, really trying to get up to Leclerc. Made a mistake. Leclerc has a little bit more breathing room now. And now Leclerc, Leclerc's about to get to that battle between Andrade, Pearson, Davis, Reed Young. He's kind of catching up to everybody up there. Andrade is going to be the first one right in front of him, and then I see Reed Young just ahead of that. So those guys definitely going for some positions in the points. Might play a little bit of a factor here as Leclerc gets to them. In fact, dude, look at Andrade right here. He's going wide, but then you see Davis, Reed Young. They're all right there. Chase to sell as well. Some of these guys are definitely not too prone to moving out of the way either.
Yeah, and they're in such a battle right now. It's kind of up to who's you give up, you move over, then somebody's going by you, and then you're like, well, screw that, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, Leclerc able to get through them pretty clean so far. He's got Reed Young still to go through, and then Turley's not too far up the road from that, but he's definitely making quick work of everybody. Chase Blakely's gonna have to go through them next. Reed Young moves out of the way, so Leclerc's able to go through on him. It's looking like Leclerc's race to lose from here, but he still has some lap traffic. He's got 2 laps to go next time by.
And reset things real quick. Leclerc in the lead. Chase Blakely second. Holm third. Prokop still strong in the number 4 ride. Z General, Race Collin, has climbed his way back up to 5th. James Armstrong 6th. Daniel Mills up to 7th. Looks like Cameron Lee is in 8th. Craig Richards 9th. And Will Whiteley rounds out the top 10 right now.
Chase Blakely down after the finish line. This might be that move that Holm wanted to get in a second here.
It's not going to give him the spot, but it's going to put him in his sights and put the pressure on Blakely.
They've cleared some of the lappers too. Maybe Andrade is still right in front. I'm not 100% sure. Definitely looked like a Kawasaki though. So the battle for second is on. Leclerc has now got a pretty good gap to work with less than 2 laps to go. I think it's going to be down to this battle. I don't see anything else happening. Oh, and Blakely's down. Stuffs it. Holm has to come to a complete stop not to run into him, but goes through in the second. That's exactly what he was hoping for. So just like that.
Not out of it still.
No.
He can regroup somehow, but Holm has been so solid coming up through the pack, just gradually working his way back up to the points.
So Holm, he's definitely hoping to at least leave here with a 2-2, if not maybe a big mistake from Leclerc can close this thing back up, but I'm sure that's about over. But Blakely is on the gas. He is going back after Holm, and he is hauling right now.
These guys have 49 seconds over fourth, so there's nothing to lose. Blakely dives in deep.
Oh, looking inside. Holmes going wide here, and it's just going to hang on to the spot. Now Blakely has to go wide. So a little bit of tactic there from Holm, maybe to be able to take the inside line the next corner. And now he's getting hung up, and Blakely goes through. Blakely down the inside makes the pass. How will Holm respond? As you mentioned, big gap behind them, so really no concern. He could totally push here and go after Blakely, but is he going to do it or is he not?
Oh, Lapper re-entering the track. Ooh, that was sketchy.
Andrade back on the track. Oh, Holm.
Big kick.
Woo! White flag is out for Leclerc up front, but this battle for second continues on. Oh my goodness, did you see Holm through that corner? That was on rails right there. And Blakely getting a little out of shape into the final corner allows Holm to kind of close back up again. Devin Davis
Holm does have a spotter, so he does know about the gap behind him for sure.
Devin Davis trying to move out of the way. Looks like he might actually have to go off the track. Well, he's going to get on right in front of Holm and then move off to the side. Smart move. Now Holm is really closed back up on Blakely, though. I think you're right. I think that spotter has told him, hey, push it. Go for him. Last lap, you need it.
He's got to run.
It's going to stay a little bit lower. Yeah, is he going to get the drive down the inside, though? Not quite.
Shut it down.
These guys are absolutely flying right now.
He's going to go inside here.
Oh, he's going to lose the front wheel. Oh, he saved it.
Much time.
And Blakely makes a mistake. He's off the track, gets back on.
But he doesn't have a good angle for this turn. That's very challenging.
And then this big bump right there. Holm actually got it really clean, but again had to check up because Blakely was right in the line.
Another lapper in front of these guys. That's Reed Young, I believe.
Yeah, Holm has got to look somewhere else here. He's got to try to find a different line. He's definitely got the speed in the corners. He's going to throw it down the inside into this corner. What a pass! And Blakely is down. Really aggressive move from Holm to get in there, but he made the pass stick and made it into the corner.
Wow, that was 50-50. Going to make the pass or crash, and Holmes sticks it. Threads the needle between the bumps and the SpongeBob, and Chase Blakely right there as well.
Reed Young trying not to give up a spot to Devin Davis, just nudges off the track to allow Blakely to go through. Now that is Dylan Copeland right in front of Chase Blakely and not moving at all, and Blakely goes down.
At the front of the field.
Alexis Leclerc, a perfect day, 1-1 performance, and he wins the Southwick National, extending his points lead. But I definitely feel like the ride of that second moto belongs to Holm, who had to go way through the field to get into the second spot to salvage points. And at the end of the day, he's only going to lose 6 points, which is very crucial in the championship chase.
Yeah, we're coming up on the second half of the season. That pass from Holm was spectacular.
Great ride from Holm, a great second moto overall, 2-2 performance, and clearly some frustration as he disconnects right away. Blakely will end up third after a great ride. Looked like he might have won this moto at one point. Nonetheless, ends up on the podium. Looks like maybe the old Chase Blakely is back up to form a little bit. Zach Prokop is all alone right now in third, or in fourth, I should say. Carlin is in fifth, also all alone. James Armstrong 6th, Cameron Lee 7th, Mills 8th, Richards 9th, Whiteley 10th, Turley a lap down in 11th, Young, Copeland, Davis, Schuler, Carlo, Andrade, Cooper, Ritzler, and Zaworski. Zaworski got another point.
There's only 21 people circulating at the end, but still got a point.
Yeah, you may have been 2 laps down, but still a
got
point.
lapped in the last corner, or second last corner.
Race Carlin crosses the line in 5th. Armstrong, nice little whip right there coming into the final corner. And he is going to make it through in 6th here. Cameron Lee bringing it home here in 7th. No pressure from behind from Daniel Mills, but if a crash were to happen, it'd be really close. It's like Lee realizes that and is going to cruise it into this final corner, though. Makes it through, gets 7th. Nice ride. Nice day overall for him and for Daniel Mills as well. A couple solid rides for both of them. So Mills comes across the line in 8th here. Richards is going to finish up here in 9th. And Will Whiteley looks like he is going to pick up his first top 10 of the season here in the 450 class. Not
Man,
sure.
he's obviously pumped. He's doing some bike humping in the
Yeah.
air.
He's going to be the last guy circulating. As Nate said, only 21 guys finished the race here. Tyler Fry crossed the line in 31st, but a lot of other rage quitters. So we're just waiting on Mr. Will Whiteley at this point. We'll be able to wrap it up here from Southwick. Some great action, and we'll give you the final tally on the evening. So Whiteley comes across the line in 10th, and looks like everybody stayed in the same positions. Top 20 through, all good to go. Leclerc goes 1-1, Holm goes 2-2, a 6-point difference swing in the championship. So Leclerc extends it out to 11 points as we head into Redbud next week. And
Nope,
we'll
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh, we're gonna take next week off? Confirmed?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
so
sir.
4th of July next week. So next week will be an off week. Despite the Redbud National being the following weekend, of course, we're going to take an off week for the holiday on Wednesday, and we'll run Redbud the following week after that. So I'm assuming the off week between Washougal and Unadilla is going to be a rerun then? Like we'll run in between
no,
then?
there's a week off after Redbud, so we'll just push Redbud back a week and stay on schedule.
Okay, gotcha. Alrighty then. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the Southwick National 450. Moto number 2 is complete. Both 450 motos have ran, and we had a great stream here tonight. Chris, any final thoughts?
Just thanks everyone for coming out. It's been a fun Southwick.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. We will see you guys in 2 weeks for the Redbud National. Hope you guys have a great 4th of July, and we will see you then. So long for now.